everyone, welcome to day 168 of the 365-day meditation challenge, where I challenge myself to meditate for 1 hour a day in 2 sessions of 31 minutes. I have to set the timer because I don't have it set. And I want to talk a bit about career and chasing your dreams. I think that most people give the wrong advice about chasing your dreams because they go like, oh, if you stick to it, you're gonna have success. But what if you don't? Like, that's the point. And most people who give this advice, they either didn't chase their dreams the way they wanted, or they just got lucky, or they just chased it until they got what they wanted. But the point is that someone who has been doing and pursuing their dreams for like almost 13 years, no, 11 years actually. I've been pursuing my dreams for the last 11 years. And I can tell you, 11 years ago, I was more successful. When I decided to pursue my dreams and quit the opportunities, quit being an opportunist in terms of doing whatever I can for success, like chasing the careers and the doors that are opening and they are giving me more success, more real life success. And I said, no, I want to quit that and go and do and chase my dreams. And I've been doing so for 11 years. And I don't have success. I don't have the same success I had then. Even though inflation is a thing, I didn't even calculate that. I think I had just 2 or 3 months where I actually surpassed the money that I had before I quit my manager job. Only 2 or 3 months in 10 years, in 11 years, where I surpassed that income. So you can imagine that and I'm fortunate, I'm lucky because I can actually sustain myself by doing this. But nobody tells you how it is. I had to make so many sacrifices for a dream that doesn't seem as if it's worth it, because it hasn't been worth it for the last 11 years. Because you start to develop this weird relationship with the work that you do and the creative things that you do, where the more you work, the more you don't get recognized and you don't get rewarded, the more you start to despise your work because you're like, it's probably not good enough. And you do better and better and better and better work. And it's like obsessive. And you ask yourself, how much time? How much time will I put myself through this pain? Because your mind is constantly telling you, like, look, this is a waste of time. You've been doing it for 11 years. Like, how long will you still keep on chasing this dream of yours? And yeah. So don't trust people who are successful and tell you like, oh, you should be chasing your dreams and do it as hard as you can. No. You might not get there. Some people don't get a lucky break. Some people don't get lucky. They just get a normal life, not even a normal life, a less than normal life. And it's sad. And it's a reality that nobody acknowledges. Like, most people say, oh, don't give up, don't give up. And you're like, dude, you really haven't put, like, the world is not equitable. The world is not fair. Like, I have known people who are so much more successful than me in the same career just because they got a lucky break. And they did it with so much less effort. So much less effort. And if it was a thing about effort and sacrifice, I should be way further than these people. And it's not like it's about talent, because it isn't about talent. I've seen people who are way less talented, and I don't believe in such things as talent, but because I've surpassed my limitations when it comes to painting and creative work so many times that basically when I got really, really obsessed about paintings and painting, I surpassed, like, I was looking at the work that I was doing like just 6 months before or 3 months before, and I was like really not feeling that great about it, and I was kind of hiding it away, because compared to the work that I was doing this month or this week, it was amazing. Like, so much better than the work that I was doing just 3 or 6 months beforehand. And this kept on happening over and over again. And you see, the income didn't. Like, you would believe that if you honestly improve the quality so many times over, you would get rewarded by that, for that. But people don't. And it's funny, some people were like, oh, I didn't even ask you how much it costs, because it's so good that I really can't afford it. And I'm like, just ask, see what's the price and see if you can afford it. Like, I got that a few times and I was like, that's a problem. Like, people think that my things are way too expensive just because they are good. So now they don't even try to buy it. So you actually get, if you improve quality quite a bit, you get people, you don't get as many sales, because people think that it's going to be way too expensive for them, and they don't want to feel like they are poor. People who want to buy from you. So I was like really, it was like really crazy when that happened. And someone told me, like, we accidentally met. They knew me from social media. We never met with each other, but she was following me. And I was just at a yoga like class. And coincidentally, the yoga instructor was a friend of mine and a friend of hers. And she was like, oh, I know you. You're that artist. And I'm like, yes. And she was like, the first thing she told me is like, I never asked you what, I wanted to buy a painting from you, but I never asked you how much it is, because I was thinking it's too expensive. And I told her, like, no, just ask. It's better to ask and say the price. You don't have to like tell the artist, oh, that's too expensive for me or something like that. You just go like, okay, I'm going to think about it. That's all you need to do. If it's too expensive for you, just say, they're not going to do anything. You just say, I'm going to think about it and get back to you. And if the artist tells you, you can tell them like, look, I decided not to buy it. And that's fine. It's honesty. And that's the point. Like, people don't really understand what it takes to actually pursue your dreams. But I do have, like, I've talked to you about very sad things today, but I'm going to give you something that's sort of like it's exactly what gets me going and what really has put me on this path that I am for the last 11 years, that I didn't give up, even though I could have easily done so many things and be more successful. So many other things that are not related to my dream. And It's one sentence. It's a question, actually, and it's, what's the alternative? What would be the alternative? Like, if the alternative sounds more compelling, then just do that. But if it doesn't sound more compelling, then pursue your dreams. Like for me, the alternative of just working a 9 to 5 or making a business that I don't like would be worse than what I have right now. Even if I had 5 or 10 times more money, I would still do what I'm doing right now. Like I would much more appreciate what I'm doing right now and the life that I have right now. The freedom that I have, the fact that I don't get, oh no, I dropped my capaccio, my bottle cap. And that's the point. Like, I'm blessed in terms of the fact that over the last 11 years, I've struggled so much that I came up with a lot of strategies to not really end up there. And from the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna pursue this dream. But if for like 3 months, if I don't have any income and I'm struggling that much, I'm gonna get a job for like about 3 months. And that kept on happening. But I was always like, after 3 months, I quit that job and I started pursuing the art career once again, and kept doing that until I didn't need a job again. And then at some point, I realized that instead of getting a job, I could just learn other skills. And instead of getting a job, I can offer other services. So that's what I did. I learned how to make websites, things that I needed for myself. I learned photography. I learned how to make videos. I learned how to talk in front of the camera. I've learned how to teach other people things. And I learned how to do other services for people, like making websites, doing Excel things, like crazy Excel things. And I've learned how to do videography. I've learned how to edit videos. I've learned how to do, I don't know. I can't think of other things, but yeah, I've learned how to do illustrations, digital illustrations. I've learned many other things that I can't name right now. Oh, I learned how to train dogs. I've learned how to sell things on the internet, like electronics, and how to find deals that I can sell for profit. That's one of the last things that I've learned. And so many other things that people have paid me for to do things. And that's how I could just quit having a job forever. Like, I quit that endless pursuit of 3 months on, 3 months off, 3 months on, 3 months off, because I realized back then the rule that I had was I could sustain myself with the 3 months of income. I could sustain myself for 6 months if I was like really careful with my money. So and then if I didn't, I would do it for 3 months. And if I got more money, I would reinvest so much money into materials, into making new paintings. Like I was consistently spending 50 or 60% of my income just on materials to do more paintings. So yeah, that's kind of crazy how that is. Considering the fact that when I initially started doing this, it took me like 3 years until I realized how to sell paintings consistently. I was making them for 3 years over and over and over and over again. And I was just building my house. I was having so many paintings in my house, and I was not selling them at all. And I didn't know how to sell them. And it took me actually 3 years until I started to sell them. I learned how to sell paintings. So, yeah, maybe I'm stupid, or maybe I don't know how to do it. But yeah. Imagine that 3 years of 3 months I was working, 3 months I was painting. I was painting while I was working as well when I got home. So I was working, I was getting a job. No matter what job it was good enough. And then I was doing a bit more painting, and I was doing constantly more and more and more painting, getting better and better and better. And then I ran out of money. I would get another job, go back to the job, and kept on doing this for 2.5 to 3 years until I found how to consistently sell paintings. But then again, after I started to consistently sell paintings, it would fluctuate. And at some points I was like, I'm barely scraping by. And then I had a month where I didn't sell anything and I didn't have any money. So I needed to get a job. So I got a job for 3 months, and it kept on repeating itself until I got another rule, which was to learn a new skill every 3 to 6 months. Like basically I was doing every 3 months. And I learned photography first, and I started offering photography as a service, and that kept on making me a bit more money. It was easier to sell. And then I started learning about Excel. I made some money with that. And some other stuff like, yeah, just weird chasing your dreams is sometimes a meandering endeavor. And now let's just start the meditation. And there you go. The meditation is over, the first session of the meditation. And I'm hungry yet again, even though I ate just before this meditation. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the kitchen and make myself some food, actually heat it up because I already have some food cooked, 3 types of food. And yeah, I feel quite hungry. It was my second meal of the day. Well, really not my second meal, but it doesn't matter. And thank you for watching and see you in the next one.